Continuing Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston. Chapter 1. The Celts in Ancient History. Alexander the Great. When the counter-movement of Hellas against the East began under Alexander the Great, we find the Celts appearing as a factor of importance. In the 4th century, Macedon was attacked and almost obliterated by Thracian and Illyrian hordes. King Amyntas II was defeated and driven into exile. His son Perdiccas II was killed in battle. When Philip, a younger brother of Perdiccas, came to the obscure and tottering throne, which he and his successors were to make the seat of a great empire, he was powerfully aided in making head against the Illyrians by the conquests of the Celts in the valleys of the Danube and the Po. The alliance was continued and rendered perhaps more formal in the days of Alexander, when about to undertake his conquest of Asia. In 334 BCE, Alexander first made a compact with the Celts, who dwelt by the Ionian Gulf, in order to secure his Greek dominions from attack during his absence. The episode was related by Ptolemy Soter in his History of the Wars of Alexander. It has a vividness which stamps it as a bit of authentic history, and another singular testimony to the truth of the narrative has been brought to light by de Jubainville. As the Celtic envoys, who were described as men of haughty bearing and great stature, their mission concluded, were drinking with the kings. He asked them, it is said, what was the thing they, the Celts, most feared? The envoys replied, we fear no man. There is but one thing that we fear, namely, that the sky should fall on us. But we regard nothing so much as the friendship of a man, such as thou. Alexander bade them farewell, and turning to his nobles, whispered, what a vainglorious people are these Celts! Yet the answer, for all its Celtic bravura and flourish, was not without both dignity and courtesy. And I guess I should throw in see the illustration here. Ptolemy, a friend and probably indeed a half-brother of Alexander, was doubtless present when the incident took place. His work has not survived, but it is quoted by Arrian and other historians. Now, by sharing this, I don't want people to think that I favor wars of mere conquest. The reference to the falling of the sky seems to give a glimpse of some primitive belief or myth of which it is no longer possible to discover the meaning. Really? Meteors? Way before history, there actually was a pretty big comet that fell. Was it like 25,000 years ago? A pretty big comet fell in like France or something. I don't remember, but it was tens of thousands of years ago. It was pretty. The national oath by which the Celts bound themselves to the observance of their covenant with Alexander is remarkable. If we observe not this engagement, they said, May the sky fall on us and crush us. May the earth gape and swallow us up. May the sea burst out and overwhelm us. De Jubainville draws attention most oppositely to a passage from the Tain Bo Cuailgn in the Book of Leinster, where the Ulster heroes declare to their king, who wished to leave them in battle in order to meet an attack in another part of the field, heaven is above us, and earth beneath us, and the sea is round about us, unless the sky shall fall with its showers of stars on the ground where we are camped, or unless the earth shall be rent by an earthquake, or unless the waves of the blue sea come over the forest of the living world, we shall not give ground. This survival of a peculiar oath formula for more than 1,000 years, and its reappearance after being first heard of among the Celts of mid-Europe, is a mythical romance of Ireland. In a mythical romance of Ireland, it's certainly most curious, and with other facts, which we shall note hereafter, speaks strongly for the community and persistence of Celtic culture. One is reminded about the folk tale about Henny Penny, who went to tell the king that the sky was falling. The Book of Leinster is a manuscript of the 12th century. The version of the Tain given it is probably dates from the 8th. C. de Jubainville, permanent habitants to 316. Dr. Douglas Hyde, in his Literary History of Ireland, page 7, gives a slightly different translation. It is also a testimony of the close accuracy of the narrative of Ptolemy. And let us excuse me if I don't pronounce some of these right. That's not my intention, but we're dealing with a bunch of different languages, and we're not even seeing correctly transliterated Greek, so, I don't remember all the Greek terms and the Gaelic and the Gaelic and all that stuff.